I've been brushing my crown wrong this whole time. And I know some people are gonna look at my pattern and say, bro, your waves are coming in. Why would you change your crown now? But that's exactly why I'm making this video. Because when you're on a 360 wave journey, sometimes the issue isn't that you're not brushing enough. Sometimes the issue isn't that you need better products. Sometimes the issue isn't even your washing style. Sometimes the real problem is your crown placement. Right now, my crown is sitting dead center. But the problem is, my natural growth pattern doesn't really want to sit dead center. My natural crown leans more towards a back right offset. So what's been happening is, I've been trying to force a center crown. And because of that, my swirl has been looking forced. I've been getting forks. My connections haven't been lining up the way I want them to. And instead of just brushing harder and hoping it fixes itself, I'm gonna address the real issue first: crown placement. So in today's video, I'm shifting my crown from center to a back right offset. I'm gonna show y'all why I'm doing it, how I'm doing it, and how I'm using this washing style to start training my new angles. And no, I'm not scalping. A lot of wavers think when they mess up their crown or want to shift their crown, they have to cut everything off and start from zero. That's not always true. In my case, I'm gonna wolf, use washing styles to manipulate my hair, and retrain the pattern over time. This might make my waves look worse before they look better, but that's part of the process. So if you're dealing with forks around your crown, your swirl looks forced, or you feel like your waves are clashing around the top of your head, this video is going to help you understand why your crown placement matters. Let's get into it. Before I even start the wash, I want to show y'all what I'm talking about. Right now, my crown is dead center. And when I first started this journey, that made sense in my mind. A center crown looks clean when it's done right. A lot of people want the perfect swirl right in the middle, but the longer I've been brushing, the more I started noticing that my hair wasn't naturally laying that way. I'm 11 weeks into this pattern, and I can see where the issue is coming from. My natural growth pattern is trying to lean back right, but I've been trying to force everything into a center crown. So now, when I brush from the center point, certain angles don't connect right. Some waves are clashing. Some areas are creating forks, and the swirl doesn't look as natural as it should. That's why this video is important, because a lot of people think forks are always caused by lazy brushing. And yes, sometimes they are. If you're not brushing with a mirror, if your angles are all over the place, if you're not consistent, you're going to get forks. But sometimes forks happen because your pattern is being forced in a direction your hair does not naturally want to go. That's what I'm correcting. I'm not just trying to remove forks first, I'm fixing the crown placement first. Then after that, I can focus on cleaning up the forks. Because if this crown is wrong, the angles coming from the crown are going to be wrong too. Think about it like this: your crown is the starting point. Everything flows from that area. So if your starting point is off, your brush angles are going to be off. And if your brush angles are off, your connections are going to suffer. That's why crown placement matters. Now let me address something, because I already know somebody is going to say, if you're shifting your crown, you might as well scalp and start over. I disagree. There are times when scalping makes sense. If your pattern is completely all over the place, if you want to completely change from one pattern to another, or if your hair is trained so deeply in the wrong direction that you want a full reset, then scalping may be an option. But for what I'm doing, I don't believe I need to scalp. I'm not changing from 360 waves to 720 waves. I'm not changing from a beehive to a completely different pattern. I'm still going with the 360 swirl. I'm just shifting the crown from dead center to a more natural back right offset. That means I can work with the hair I already have. The way I'm going to do this is by wolfing and doing washing styles 2 to 3 times per week. For me, the washing style is important because it allows me to manipulate the hair while it's wet, soft, and easier to train. When your hair is dry, it's already trying to stay in the direction it's been trained. But when your hair is wet and lathered up, that's when you can really move it, lay it, and start teaching it new angles. So instead of scalping, I'm going to use the washing style as my reset tool. This is not going to be an overnight fix. I want to be clear about that. My waves may look messy for a little while. My crown may look open. I may create new forks before I clean up the old ones. But that's part of shifting your pattern. You have to be patient enough to let your hair adjust. That's why I'm documenting the journey. I want y'all to see the real process not just the perfect results. For this session, I'm keeping it simple. I'm going to be using the 2/6 King Wavy Deep Waves bundle pack. The main thing today is not overloading my hair with a bunch of products. The main focus is control, angles, and crown placement. But I do want to say this. If you're serious about getting deeper waves, laying your hair down, and keeping your hair moisturized during your journey, check out my Deep Waves bundle pack on the 2/6 King Wavy website at 26kingwavymerch.com. That bundle is made for wavers who are trying to improve their pattern, get better lay, and stay consistent with the right product. I always tell people, products alone will not give you waves. You still have to brush. You still have to use a mirror. You still have to stay consistent. But the right products can help your hair stay soft, moisturized, and easier to train. So if you're following this journey and you need products to help with your own wave process, check out the Deep Waves bundle pack. Now let's get into this wash. Before I start scrambling my hair, I want to show y'all my current crown. As you can see, my crown is sitting dead center. Now at first glance, it may not look terrible, but when I look closely, I can see where the swirl is being forced. I can see where the connections are not flowing naturally. And I can see where the forks are starting to form because I'm brushing from a crown point that doesn't match my natural growth pattern. This is why it's important to study your own head. Don't just copy somebody else's crown. Some people have an offset crown. Some crowns sit higher, some crowns sit lower. Some lean left, some lean right. If you try to force your crown to look like somebody else's, you may end up fighting your own hair the whole journey. That's what I'm correcting. My natural cowlick and growth pattern are telling me my crown needs to sit more towards the back right. So today, that's where I'm going to start training it. The goal is not perfection today. The goal is direction. I'm trying to establish the new crown placement and start brushing everything outward from the new point. Now I'm starting with a scramble wash. The reason why I'm doing a scramble wash is because I want to break up the old pattern a little bit. Since my hair has been trained from the center for 11 weeks, I need to loosen that up so I can start redirecting the hair. Now when I say scramble wash, I don't mean be rough and tear your hair up. You still want to be careful with your scalp, but the goal is to get the hair out of that old laid down direction. This helps me reset the hair before I start brushing the new angles. A lot of people skip this step and go straight into brushing. But if your hair is still locked into the old pattern, you may struggle to shift it. That's why washing is so powerful. Wet hair is easier to move. Lathered hair is easier to manipulate. And this is where I can start teaching my hair something new. So right now, I'm massaging the hair, lifting it up, and breaking up that old center crown direction. Again, I'm not scalping. I'm not starting completely over. I'm using the washing style to help redirect my pattern. This is why I recommend wavers use washing styles when they're trying to make adjustments, especially when you're wolfing. When you have more hair on your head, you have more room to train. The hair is long enough to move, lay, and redirect. If you cut too low, sometimes you don't have enough hair to manipulate. That's why I'm not cutting it down right now. I want to use this wolf to my advantage. Now, this is the most important part. I have to find the new crown point. I'm shifting from dead center to back right offset. So I'm not just randomly picking a spot. I'm looking for where my hair naturally wants to rotate and lay. This is where the mirror matters. If you're doing this without a mirror, you're guessing. And guessing is how you create more forks. So I'm looking at the top and back of my head, studying the natural direction of my hair, and finding the back right area where the swirl makes more sense. Once I find that point, that becomes my new starting point. From there, every brush stroke needs to flow outward. That's the biggest thing when it comes to crown work. You cannot brush one angle one day and a different angle the next day. The crown needs consistent direction. So now, I'm gonna start brushing from the back right crown point outward. The top has to flow forward and slightly around. The sides have to connect from the crown point. The back has to drop down naturally, and everything has to work together. That's what creates a clean swirl. Now that I have the new crown point, I'm using the crown brush first. The crown brush gives me more control in the small area. When you're working around the crown, you don't always want to use a big brush because it can cover too much space and sometimes mess up the detail. So I'm starting small. I'm brushing from the new back right crown point and working outward. This is where patience matters. I'm not trying to rush. I'm not trying to brush to say I brush. I'm watching the hair. I'm watching how it lays. I'm watching where the forks want to form. and I'm adjusting my angles based on what my hair is showing me. This is the part a lot of people miss. Your crown tells you where your angles needs to go. You cannot just brush straight down everywhere and expect a swirl. You have to brush around the crown in a way that matches the rotation you're trying to create. Since I'm going for a 360 swirl, I need the hair to rotate from the crown point and connect all the way around. So now my focus right now is not speed. My focus is accuracy. Every brush stroke has to have a purpose. Now I'm going in with my medium brush to start laying the rest of the pattern. The medium brush helps me move my hair and start training those new directions. I'm still brushing from the crown outward. That's the key. The crown is the source. If the crown strokes don't start from the correct source, the pattern is going to look disconnected. Now I want to be honest with y'all. This may look worse before it looks better, and I'm okay with that. When you shift your crown, you're basically telling your hair, we're not doing it the old way anymore. But if your hair is already used to the old way, for a little while, it may fight back. That means I may see more forks, the crown may look open, the swirl may look messy, the connections may not look clean right away. But that does not mean the process is not working. A lot of wavers quit too early because they make a change and expect instant results. But waves are about training. Training takes repetition. It takes consistency. It takes time. That's why I'm going to keep doing washing styles 2 to 3 times per week while I'm woofing. Each washing style gives me another chance to manipulate the hair and reinforce the new crown placement. Over time, the hair should start understanding the new direction, but I have to stay consistent. If I shift my crown today, then tomorrow I brush like it's still in the center, I'm going to confuse my pattern. That's how you make things worse. So from this point forward, I have to commit to the new back right crown. That means every brush session, every wash style, every rag up, I need to respect the new angles. Let me give y'all some mistakes to avoid if you're thinking about shifting your crown. Mistake number 1, thinking you have to scalp every time. You don't always have to scalp. Like I said earlier, scalping can make sense in certain situations, but it's not the only option. If you're making a smaller adjustment, especially with crown placement, you may be able to woof and use washing styles to retrain your hair. Mistake number 2, brushing without a mirror. If you're trying to fix your crown and you're not using a mirror, you're guessing. The crown is too detailed for guesswork. You need to see exactly where your brush is going. Mistake number 3, changing the crown but not changing the angles. You cannot move your crown and keep brushing the same old angles. That defeats the purpose. If the crown moves, the angles have to move too. Mistake number 4, expecting it to look perfect immediately. It's not going to look perfect today. It may not look perfect next week. That's why you have to trust the process. Mistake number 5, forcing the crown that doesn't match your natural growth pattern. This is the mistake I'm correcting. I'm forcing the center crown when my hair naturally wanted to lean back right. And because of that, my swirl looked forced and my forks started showing up. So learn from my journey. Study your hair before you commit to a crown placement. Now that I have brushed the new angles, I'm going to start laying everything down. This is where the silk do-rag comes in. Before I rag up, I want to make sure the hair is laid into the direction I want it to drop. Because once I put the do-rag on, I'm locking in whatever direction I brush. That's why the brushing before the do-rag matters so much. If your angles are wrong and you rag up, you're just compressing the wrong angles. So I'm going back over the crown one more time. I'm making sure that back right crown point is clear. I'm making sure I'm brushing outward from that point. I'm making sure I'm not accidentally brushing from the old center crown. Then I'm going to lay it down with the do-rag. When I put the do-rag on, I want good compression, but not too tight. You don't want to cut off circulation or leave your head hurting. You just want the hair laid flat and secured. This is where consistency comes. The washing style helps manipulate the hair. The brush sets the direction. The do-rag locks it all in. That combination repeated over time is what trains the pattern. All right, so now I'm taking the do-rag off. Remember, I'm not expecting perfection today. What I'm looking for is direction. I want to see if the hair is starting to respond to the new back right crown placement. I want to see if the swirl looks more natural from that point. I want to see where the forks are still showing up. And I want to see what I need to keep working on during the next session. So this is the part where you have to be honest with yourself. Do not judge the whole journey off of one washing style. This is just the first step in shifting my crown. I already know I'm going to have to keep working these angles. I already know it may take multiple washing styles before the pattern starts looking cleaner. And I already know the forks are not going to disappear overnight. But now I have a better foundation. Instead of forcing the center crown, I'm finally aligning my crown with where my hair naturally wants to go. That's the win for today. The main lesson from this video is simple. Crown placement matters. You can brush every day, you can use good products, you can wear your do-rag every night, you can do washing styles. But if the crown placement is fighting your natural growth pattern, you're going to keep running into problems. That's why you have to study your hair. Do not just copy another waver's pattern because it looked good on them. Your head is different, your crown is different, your growth pattern is different, your angles may be different. For me, I realized my crown being dead center was causing my swirl to look forced. My natural pattern wanted to lean back right. So instead of ignoring that, I'm making the adjustment now. And I want y'all to follow this journey because I'm going to keep updating you on how the crown shift is going, what changes I'm seeing, what mistakes I make, and how the pattern develops. This is real wave training, not just showing the good parts. If this video helped you understand crown placement better, make sure you subscribe to the channel and follow my 360 wave journey. Drop a comment and let me know what type of crown you have. Is your crown centered? Is it offset? Does it lean left, lean right? Or are you still trying to figure it out? If you're serious about getting deeper waves and you need products to help keep your hair moisturized, trained, and laid during your journey, check out the Deep Waves bundle pack from 26 King Wavy. The link is in my description. I'm going to keep documenting this crown shift so y'all can see the real process from center crown to back right offset. Remember, crown placement matters. Stop forcing your pattern. Study your hair. Brush with purpose and trust the process. I catch y'all in the next video. Peace.